It is time for game number 2. Same two teams, different set of stories. The Peacocks of Upper Iowa and the Marauders of UMary here at the McDowell Activity Center. Welcome you back in. Corey Brooks alongside Noah Reed as we open things up here on BEK Prime. It should be a fun one for UMary and Upper Iowa. Two teams starting to find their form for the University of Mary. They got their first conference sweep of the year, and it came on the road last weekend, beating Crookston and then Bemidji. Now they try and translate that success to the BEK court here at home in Bismarck. We'll take a quick time out over the course of our Farmers Union Insurance pregame show. When we get back, we will introduce you to Upper Iowa and UMary. Welcome back in here to the BEK court. Let's jump right in here on our pregame show. As we take a look at our player matchup, it is brought to us by Choice Financial, where supporting local athletics is a part of bettering the places that we live. For the University of Mary, Matt Krecklow has been a huge part of their games when they found their wins. The redshirt freshman has been massive. Meanwhile, for Upper Iowa, he'll be matched up for the most part with Quentin Blau. The juniors had a very good year, third on this team in minutes played, one of the critical cogs, and so often we talk about wing play, and these two guys really exemplify that. Blau more of the 3, Krecklow more of the 4. Either way, Noah, these two forwards bring a unique skill set, and they've got some height.
Yeah, and the thing about Krecklow, too, is he's been playing better and better as the season has gone on, and more so especially inside the NSIC and conference play. He's been a guy who's made a presence down low offensively and defensively. At 6'9", he can alter you defensively, he can get it done offensively, and he can have a big night tonight.
Those two will certainly be key to the game, and so it gives us a chance to take a look at our keys to the game, and they are brought to us by Pinky Homes. A reminder, you can get the keys to your new custom-built home from Pinky Homes, a family business dedicated to building your next family home. For the Peacocks of Upper Iowa, they really are a one-shot and run offense. They have the ability to explode in a big way, and you saw it very similarly on the women's side for UMary. One big run, and the game was decided. Upper Iowa has that type of haymaker potential. Meanwhile, for the Marauders, it'll be about maintaining balance. Even though they found a lot of success lately, that scoring has been really, really concentrated, and so much of it has come from the junior Keith Hunter. They have to get a big game from him, there's no doubt, but they also have to supplement his scoring with some of the other guys like Krecklow, like Kubank, like Jalen White. Those are our keys to the game, brought to us by Pinky Homes. Remind you, can see all the action in high definition. Tough to see right now because the lights are out here, but nevertheless, you see the darkness in HD. Thanks to our friends at Piper's Auction and Realty. Be sure to check out their new location in Steele, North Dakota. They are your premier auction spot. Also coming your way thanks to NISC. Value focused and member driven. 20 minutes up on the board. It is just about time to get things going here from Bismarck. The University of Mary Marauders won the first game today and did so really easily. Now the men's team tries to repeat. The Upper Iowa Peacocks looking for a day split. Corey Brooks, Noah Reed, Scott Lurch, Brenda Waletzko. Our group here at BEK Court, and just up the sidewalk, it is Jared Calvert and Cole Dennis. UMary playing as well as they have all year. The Upper Iowa Peacocks also doing some good work. They are on their longest road trip of the year from Upper Iowa to North Dakota. That road trip gets even longer tomorrow as they go an hour and a half north to the Magic City. Very easy to look ahead to that game with Minot State playing as well as they are. But make no mistake, this is a UMary team that can play with anybody in the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference. Krecklow and Okonkwo to the center circle. It's just about time for game 2 of our doubleheader. Thanks for joining us here on BEK Prime. Happy to have you along for the ride. Jalen White, the biggest addition to this starting lineup this season, really the only major change that UMary's made. Operates at the point. Other than that, it's steady Heady. Krecklow, right on cue. Touches every part of the rim but does not go. He is going to have a tough task today, matching up against the junior forward checking in at 6'9", Monachiso Okonkwo. First three ball for UIU, no good. Tough rebound. Mary fought through it.
I like you, Mary's first possession. Got it into the post, tried to get something down low first. Try to go inside out, get something going down low.
They'll be looking to do that all night. This starting lineup, interior inclined. Some guys like Trevor Zocker who are capable of doing a little bit of everything. Again, it's the defensive Okonkwo that makes the difference. A transfer from John Hood Community College. And the Nigerian national off to an outstanding start. Goes Smolt off the nice feed, the reverse, not there. Okonkwo fights for the rebound and wins it. But it comes to Kreklo. Mad scrum, ultimate result, UMary ball. Short jumper, good. Jalen White has the first 2 points of the day.
A nice job. He got right into the heart of that paint, was able to get the defender to go by, spun around, knocked down the fadeaway jumper, and gets the scoring underway.
White from I-35 High School, St. Charles, Iowa, not too far from our director, Jared Calvert. Okonkwo fights, and we have our first jump ball. Alternating arrow keeps it with the Peacocks. Talked about the youth of the UMary women's team. Of course, this men's team going through some growing pains as well. Ricky Suggs, Brian Jefferson, Eric Lindquist, all the seniors that departed last year. Brian Jefferson, one of the best players in program history. Off the inbound, the three around the world and down. Quentin Blau on the board for Upper Iowa.
That's great execution on an inbounds play. Run it perfectly, get an open jumper for a really good shooter.
So just like that, both of the players we told you to keep an eye on in our player matchup have shots today. Too strong for Kubank. UIU in transition. Good catch by Dennis Austin. Parker the feed. Okonkwo the post. Foul comes. Mary can't believe it. But Munachiso will go to the line for 2 shots.
Regardless of if that's a foul or not, you can't let him get that kind of positioning. He gets that far on the block, and more times out of not, he's going to score or get the foul drawn, head to the free throw line. And either got to front him or push him out, make him catch it 15 feet and out. When he gets the ball on top of the block, that's too deep, and he has a chance to score.
Okonkwo, very much your mold of center. The free throw percentage, not where you'd like it, but his field goal percentage is lights out. He is third in the conference in field goal percentage, taking a ton of high quality looks on the interior where there are not many people that can contend with his 6'9" frame. Ripped away, another turnover. UIU winning the turnover battle early, and a sweet take. Cho Smolt, smooth to the rim.
Yeah, that's a really nice move, and Jalen White tried to come back to cut that off, but a nice spin move got him away from the defender, and an easy 2 off the window.
Jalen White will direct traffic, trying to get everybody in the right place. The sophomore guard. One of the unquestioned on-court leaders, near the tops of the conference in terms of assists. True point guard by any measure. Wide open, Kubank for 3. Falls out. Carson Parker getting his first long touch of the day. And he wants his first shot. Doesn't go for him. We talk about Brian Jefferson being one of the best players for UMary's history. Carson Parker holds that honor for Upper Iowa. Offensive foul against Jalen White.
I think they might have whistled that on Kreklo, and if that is, that's his second.
It is, and it is. Meanwhile, a couple quick subs here. Jerice Williams comes in for the first time today for Upper Iowa, as well as Mitch Amee. Parker trying to play the high-low game with the aforementioned Amee. Diagnosed perfectly by UMary. Keith Hunter operating up top, down low. Nice find, White. There's floater, too strong off back iron. Good board by me. Parker in rhythm. One of the conference's top scorers, denied by Trevor Zocker. No offensive touches yet for Zocker. Defensively, though, a standout play to open things up. Now here comes the guy out of Beulah. Foul and a baseline inbound for Zocker and Umeri.
Had the size advantage down low, really like that, get him going in the post, and that's something Umeri's done well. It's only turned into 2 points in the first 4 minutes, but they've gotten a paint touch every time down, not settling for contested jump shots, trying to get as many looks inside as they can.
Kubank out, Carr in, adding that stretch 4 dimension for Umeri. Wyatt Carr, another one of those players who has improved as the year has gone on. Keith Hunter and a second chance. Step back 3 for Hunter off the left corner. Nice find by Rowan. Blau.
That's got to be a guy that you find first in transition. You don't want to allow him to get an open look for 3. Umeri fortunate that time that Upper Iowa doesn't come away with any points.
Mayer with a wide open lane. Couldn't get it. Second time, patient. There it is. Lucas Mayer on the board for Umeri.
Yeah, you said it, patience there. Missed the first one, got the rebound, wasn't in any hurry, did a nice job letting the ruckus underneath settle a little bit. He was able to get 2 points out of it.
Blau again with a clean look. It doesn't go, but you're absolutely right, Noah. He has had a ton of space here in the early going.
Just not somebody you want to give that much space to. And that one's a little bit tougher. It's not like he was in transition.
Right.
It was off of a second chance, and you're trying to crash for the rebound. He got a little space that time. That time, it's not near as bad.
Smooth operator Jalen White. Quick to the basket, and Umeri leads. Coach Cattell very happy with the performance of his team these last couple games. They've now won 3 straight conference road games. Odd for Umeri, who's ordinarily so successful here at home. They're on top right now. They lead 6-4. Half-court shot just offline. Meanwhile, for Umeri, the shots have not often been wide at all. 6-4, they lead it here in the early going in a game brought to us by North Dakota Firefighters Association, as well as Farmers Union Insurance, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, and the BEK Communications Cooperative. Going to the break, we were talking about the success Mary has had. You look at them throughout the NSIC era, they have been significantly better at home. Obviously, it sounds like pretty basic analysis. Teams are better at home than on the road, go figure. But Mary's advantage is a step above the average home extra margin, if you will, in the NSIC. This year, though, success has come on the road. Now the question becomes, are they able to parlay that road success into something back here at the McDowell Activity Center? Or do the home fans continue to wait for a big-time NSIC victory? White couldn't get it to him, and it's picked up by Dennis Austin III. Smolt utilizing the screen. Cam Rowan. First rebound of the day for Connor Hellebust.
You got to like that if you're Umeri on the defensive side. That ball never went inside the paint. Ball went around the perimeter a few times, a not very open look, and that one is.
Too easy for Wyatt Carr. The young guy for Umeri is not afraid of the spotlight. The freshman will let it fly when he's open, and that time he makes the most of it. Number 4 on the other side is Cam Rowan. He can't get it to go. He's had a difficult offensive start. Mary continues to build now. Jalen White palms the basketball, hands it back to UIU. Cross-divisional weekend here in the NSIC for a few teams, obviously including these two. Umeri trying to make some headway in the NSIC North. The Peacocks, of course, trying to do the same thing in the South. Same story tomorrow when they take on Minot State. One too many steps for Mitchell. Mary trying to build on the 5-0 run. It has them up by that same margin. It's Wyatt Carr taking it to the basket, and he is guilty of the charge.
You'll take that kind of charge, though. It was a nice job. He had an open three. He turned that down to try to get a better look. Took it all the way to the basket. It was the right call by the official. You can see here, defender gets outside the restricted area, but still a nice take by Carr. And if you're Coach Cattell, you'll take that.
UIU trying to take advantage of the turnover they forced. They've been doing that all night long. Nice feed, hoop up, one more. Mitchell to the line. Meanwhile, that is 4 fouls on you, Mary. 12:26 to go. Not necessarily a dire situation, but absolutely something to keep an eye on.
If you're Upper Iowa, you got to know that number and try to get to the free throw line. Just a couple more away from being in the 1-and-1 bonus, and still more than half of the half to go.
Amy's first up and down. That is the first free throw make of the day for Upper Iowa, after Okonkwo went 0 of 2. Zocker at the turnaround, Jay, doesn't fall. Mary's had a lot of tough bounces today here in the early going.
Yeah, a lot of good looks, just not able to get the bounce or get the roll, get them to fall, but you got to keep shooting those because sooner or later you'll get them to go.
Austin hits the deck, but there's no whistle on the back end. So Mary holds on to that 2-point lead. Low scoring first quarter of this ball game. Each team trying to go through that feeling out process. Baseline J stays in the cylinder this time for Lucas Mayer.
That was a pretty look from Zocker as well. Had a couple defenders come over his way, and he could have gone inside to Wyatt Carr. Instead found Mayer cross court for a baseline jumper.
Austin the third clangs it home. So back comes Mary the other way. 3 ball again for the Marauders.
That's another one you're just
so
talking
close.
about.
Basketball is a game of inches at times. Certainly right now for Mary. Nice feed. Off the floor reversal. 3 doesn't go either for UIU. Upper Iowa has done well versus Mary in their rivalry over the NSIC years. Winning record 8-5 versus the Marauders. Mary's got to be very careful. The last time they were up big and UIU finished the game on, get this, a 27-2 run to get the win.
Wow.
From the wing. Banked home remains here. Wholesale subs now for the Marauders as Michael Gorder checks in.
This defense for Mary has been great. We're almost halfway through this first half. They've given up 7 points to Upper Iowa, and it's just not very many looks inside. It's a lot of three-pointers, and for my token, a lot of forced three-pointers. Early in the shot clock, shots you don't need to be taking. It's the Mary defense forcing that.
The catch by Austin. Okonkwo! What do you do?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. That's exactly the opposite of what I said, and good for Upper Iowa because they did a nice job, got into the paint, and a nice dish off right here, got the defender to commit, and wow, that's explosive.
Big time throwdown by Munachiso Okonkwo. His third free throw attempt of the day, 0 for 3, but it's good news for UIU. Austin to the lane, the dish, Okonkwo. Gets doubled well, that creates a 3. Good contest by Anderson, doesn't matter. Joe Smolt from the outside.
That's the kind of threes you want right there. In, out, double. It came off the double team, open three, and it was good recovery, like you said. He was able to contest it, but if you're the Peacocks, those are the kind of threes you want. The in-out kick, that ball comes from the inside, sets up an open look for three, and just like that, Upper Iowa has the lead.
The 5-0 run answered as Upper Iowa finds one of their own, not for long. Connor Hellebust for UMary. Off the floor reversal, Austin draws the block and will go to the line for two. Dennis Austin the third will take the free throws after the timeout. 14-12, Marauders on top. University of Mary up by two, a back and forth game. Here to open things up from the Borkey court. It's been a fun one. UMary trying to get that day sweep after the women's team at this point was already up by about 20.
Yeah, that was impressive performance for the women's side earlier today, and they fell behind 8-6 in the first couple minutes and then went on a 14-0 run and took a 12-point lead, and that was kind of really it. They led by double digits the rest of the way, all the way through, 35-point win, and great performance for the women's side. They've won 4 of their last 5 and really clicking on all cylinders at the right time a couple weeks before the conference tournament.
Second free throw in and out. Dennis Austin can't get him to go, and a very difficult free throw shooting start for Upper Iowa. 1 of 6. Mary going to try and take advantage of the UIU miscues. Gorder's first offensive touch didn't last long. Jalen White from the outside. Fighting for a second chance. They'll get it. Hunter. Zocker. Kaboom!
That is a fantastic look by Hunter. He got that ball off the scramble, and the first thing his eyes did was look to the corner. Zocker was wide open in the corner, nobody around. That play was all set up by Keith Hunter.
Therese Williams with the quick answer. UIU not letting UMary go anywhere. Gorder the floater. How about the smooth finish?
Yeah, Upper Iowa sending a double team, and every time the ball is caught in the post, it doesn't matter who it was. That time they probably should have done without it because it was Keith Hunter, and even though he did have good position, that's not somebody who plays in the post a whole lot and does a nice job finding Gorder.
Floater goes on the other end. Back and forth we go. That's Quentin Blau. We've heard that name a few times tonight.
Yeah,
He's had a good start.
Blow for blow right now. These two teams kind of trading buckets back and forth. It was a slow offensive start, but last few possessions, the offensive got rolling a little bit.
Nice feed. Gorder goes home. Michael Gorder, not ordinarily a huge offensive player, but tonight he's getting it done.
Well, he's doing the right things at the right time, cutting to the basket, moving without the basketball, and every time the ball goes to the post, like I said, Upper Iowa's doubling that, and if you're an offensive player, cut from the outside, get to the basket. It's caused 2 easy buckets for him.
Gorder averaging 1.8 points a game. He's got that beat already. Now, Keith Hunter and company looking for more. Jalen White held on to that ball for a while, waiting for everything to set up off ball. Hunter. Back up. Kubank. Carson Parker gets the rebound. He has been quiet for Upper Iowa tonight. Oh, extra pass made. Necessary foul. A hard one by Zocker, but you got to make him earn it at the line.
Yep, absolutely. That's a nice play in transition with an easy 2, nobody around. Zocker comes flying out there. Correct call, hard foul, but a clean hard foul and one you got to make if you're the Marauders.
So Amy heads to the line. And his first is in and out. The free throw woes for Upper Iowa continue. a defining factor in this game right now. 1 of 8, Noah. That's too much meat left on the bones.
Yeah, you can't afford to do that.
Amy's second is good.
You hit even half those, and Upper Iowa's got the lead right now. I mean, 2 for 9 at the free throw line is just inexcusable.
Team that's ordinarily pretty good at them as that goes for Zocker. Though one of the big keys, Carson Parker, who's been quiet, 3rd in the conference in free throw percentage, but he doesn't have any of them tonight. Give you Mary a lot of credit. They have been prepared to slow down number 3. Been a little bit banged up by injury still. Can't take anything away from the Marauder defense. Just under 6.5 to go here in a highly entertaining first half. Zocker is doubled. Nice to get it out. Carr.
In-out kick, that's where your best three-pointers come from, and UMary's got their largest lead of the game.
Upper Iowa needs a timeout. The Marauders are on their horse here at home. Some of the brand new faces in town here for the University of Mary. A new football coach right there, a new volleyball coach in town as well. One thing that has remained consistent for the Marauders, the 2 head coaches of the basketball teams. And Joe Cattell has to be happy with what he's seen on the court from the men's side, and Rick Newman had to be ecstatic on the women's side.
Yeah, how can you not? A 35-point win. You held your opponent to just 38 points defensively. That's less than a point per minute, and UMary's clicking on all cylinders on the women's side. The men's side right now, with just 6 minutes to go in the first half, have a 9-point lead, their largest of the game. And talked about it a little bit, they're coming off of a road sweep last week. Friday and Saturday, a pair of road wins, hoping to carry that over here into the home part of the schedule this weekend. But both teams, conference tournaments coming up, and both teams are playing their best basketball of the season as of right now.
Without a doubt. Cam Rowan makes that first free throw go. One of the best free throw shooters for UIU last year, just shy of 80%. Pretty close to that number as well this year as well. And the guy from Des Moines Community College goes 2 of 2. It's going to be a long trek back to a good percentage for UIU, but they absolutely have the advantage in number of attempts. That's half the battle. Head fake, Carr, the feed underneath. It's good for Lucas Mayer. Now Carr called upon defensively. Parker, the spin move, kicked out, extra pass, covered well by UMary. One too many steps, running through a ton of traffic. Evan Anderson has been a good defensive spark plug for the Marauders since he came in a few minutes ago.
Yeah, nice, really good defensive possession there, and I think Upper Iowa got away with a travel earlier on that possession, but UMary does a nice job sticking with it. Shot clock was running down, forced to travel, a nice defensive possession, chance to turn it into points.
Down underneath, Okonkwo. Quick to the floor and a jump ball. Possession means it stays on this end of the floor. Checking quickly with some scores across the Northern Sun Air Collegiate Conference. 25-11 is the lead for Minot State over the Warriors in the game most relevant for the Peacocks, since they're going up to MSU tomorrow. Moorhead's up by 10, Crookston's up by 7.
And Winona State's coming here, so
yep,
relevant game for UMary
sure,
as well.
Absolutely. The North Dakota swing for the Warriors and the Peacocks. Anderson out of time. Carson Parker hit hard, and the foul comes for Jalen White. And that, with 4:49 to go, brings us to a timeout. UMary, the 29-20 lead. 29-20, UMary with their largest lead of the day, and it comes at a good time, nearing halftime. Marauders a chance to really control things at the break. For now, though, we head to the free throw line. We talked earlier about the ability from the stripe of Carson Parker. Now we see it on display right here. The first 1-1 and also the last, with 9 fouls on UMary, and Parker is good on the first. A top 10 scorer in the NSIC, big part of it from the free throw line. Again, top 3 in the conference, as he is around the world and down for a couple.
Upper Iowa really needs a stop here. Every time that they've kind of cut into it, got a bucket, got a couple free throws, UMary's been able to go down and respond right away. The Peacocks have to get a defensive stop, try to string together some offense.
Joe Smolt rips it away. Rowan out in front for UIU. 3 ball. Smolt. Boom. Just like that. Timeout UMary. The lead was 9 a few seconds ago. Now it's 4. It was 29-20. Now it's 29-25. Upper Iowa trying to flip the script here at halftime. White, nice feed. Mayer, knocked out, look out. It stays with Mary. Fortunate second chance for the Marauders, and 30 seconds remaining on that shot clock. Get to orchestrate basically a full possession. Jalen White asking for the pick. He was about to try and run the other way off of it. Stuffed by Jerice Williams, who was guilty of the foul.
This could be a big offensive possession for the Marauders. Talked about Upper Iowa getting a couple stops defensively. They scored 5 points in the matter of just a few seconds. A pair of free throws and a big 3 to trim the lead to 4. Marauders can kind of bring that momentum back their way here with a bucket.
White sets it back up. Kubank off the nice pass, and the make there. Lucas Mayer for UMary.
Yeah, Kubank does a nice job, was able to get into the paint. Defense slides over. A nice bounce pass, split the double team, and an easy bucket for Mayer on the weak side.
Smolt, step back, not there. Parker wants the long 3. Parker takes the long 3.
Phenomenal defensive possession there. Force a shot like that, and I know Parker has that capability and can kind of pull from anywhere, but
right.
You'll take that if you're UMary.
Without a doubt. Mary defense continuing to play well. Mary to the inside, covered up well by Okonkwo. Marauders reset. White, the floater. That's one way to get it over the big guy.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a really nice play, too. Instead of going down there, you see a lot of guards go down there, and I like the aggression to go in amongst the trees, but that's the best way to do it. A pull-up jumper or a floater right in front of the defense.
Ooh. Jerice Williams throws one hand to the lips, trying to silence the crowd here at the MAC. That's certainly one way to do it. The NBA range tray. Kubank off 1 foot. 1 foot, 2 points.
Yeah, that's a tough shot right there, too. That was really nice defense, cut him off, but was able to kind of spin, step back, and that's just a tough shot to guard.
Rowan with a nice find in the corner. Nice find, doesn't result in anything. Mary looking to push the tempo again. Hunter draws the block. Count it. And a chance for one more for Keith Hunter.
Yeah, coach doesn't like that call, but it's definitely the right call. He's still moving plenty. Hunter goes right through. Hunter goes right through that contact, does a nice job of drawing the block.
Keith Hunter has been the offense a couple times this season. The very late matchup, decided late against CSP. Keith Hunter did it all. This past weekend, Keith Hunter basically did it all. Had 18 points against Bemidji, and then 20 against Ufa.
I think they make those into posters.
Yeah. Okonkwo, that's 2 now. He is absolutely shredded, but the funny part is that counts the same.
Yep.
Up top from straightaway, Rowan. Collected by Kubank. An overtime win for Mary over the weekend is a part of that road trip. Again, 38 points for Keith Hunter. Zucker, short. Rowan gets the pick from Okonkwo. Here he comes again. And he is fouled. Really good foul by Michael Gorder.
Yeah, it's good foul. Easy too, if not. Instead, you make a not very good free throw shooter go to the free throw line and make him earn both of them. His first trip to the free throw line, he was 0 for 2. Even if he goes 1 for 2, that's a good foul, and it's only the first on Gorder, and we're almost at halftime.
0 of 3 for Okonkwo.
Good foul.
Make it 0 of 4. Dennis Austin checks back in for UIU. And Lucas Mayer checks back in for UMary. Okonkwo still looking for his first make from the line. And he will get the kind roll. Shooting 20% here in the early going. As UMary is right back out for that 9-point lead. Almost their largest of the day, and before that Okonkwo make, it was their largest at 10. Hunter reverses floor, Zucker. Parker in transition. Down the baseline and a foul against Keith Hunter. Keith stuck his hand up, said I did it only after the whistle. Be his second, and the team foul number on Mary irrelevant. 10 plus here. We'll send Joe Smolt to the line for UIU.
This is a completely different game if the Peacocks have even hit half their free throws. They are struggling at the line.
7 of 15. That rolls in. 8 of 16 and back to 50%. A lot of things in this game. You get a 50% clip, it's really good. At the charity stripe, not so. Marauders get the final shot. They will take the lead into halftime. Hunter. Second chance, not going to come. Point one's not going to be enough for UMary to do anything.
They can get a tip, throw it up at the basket, quick touch, but that's it. Can't catch and shoot. You need at least 0.4 to do that.
Jalen White will be the inbounder. I think he'll try and get it to Hunter. Nope, they went to Gorder. Didn't matter regardless. 40-32 still. Mary with one of its largest leads of the day going into the locker room break. Welcome back in. 40-32, the University of Mary on top of the Peacocks of Upper Iowa here at the break. As we talk about the importance of this game in the NSIC overall picture, it gives us an opportunity to take a look around the region. Brought to us by the North Dakota Firefighters Association. Don't be more than your 8 to 5. Visit ndfirefighter.com to learn more about becoming a volunteer firefighter, because you were made for more. Noah talked about in the women's game how a lot of the top teams on the women's side were at home. Well, the same is true on the men's side. MSU Mankato at 12-2, off to an outstanding start this year. They are at home against Minnesota Crookston at 5-9. That game is going about the way you'd expect. Although Crookston on a big run as of late, they just tied it up 34-34. Southwest Minnesota State going up against MSU Moorhead. Difficult year for the Dragons at 3-11, the bottom of the NSIC North. Bemidji will take on CSP. Concordia St. Paul had that win over Mary, but outside of that, they have lost 4 straight. Meanwhile, Bemidji also trying to bounce back from a loss to UMary. Minnesota Duluth will take on the Vikings of Augustana. Augie much better on the women's side than the men, 7-7. Still in the conversation in the South. And Minnesota Duluth, 4th in the NSIC North. Winona State going up against the Beavers. Again, those two teams will switch with these two teams tomorrow. That is Warriors by 6 at halftime. Minot State in danger of falling prey to an upset and going up against these Peacocks tomorrow, angry. Also going up over on BEK 247, it's the Clippers of Strasburg, Zeeland, and the Patriots of Eureka Battle. Remember, it will be Upper Iowa and Minot State, women and men, tomorrow from the Magic City in a full day of basketball, because after that doubleheader, we have Shiloh and Stanley, two of the best teams in the state of North Dakota. That is a look around the region brought to us by the North Dakota Firefighters Association. Speaking of all that upcoming action, only seems fair that we show you the full slate of what's coming up here on BEK Prime, and we do so with our look ahead brought to us by JSI, John Starlocks Incorporated, celebrating more than 50 years of balancing progress with perspective for communications providers. We wrap up today's doubleheader. We get going tomorrow again from the Magic City. You're not going to want to miss it. Minot State is playing as well as anybody in the NSIC, 11-3 in the conference, taking on this Peacocks team. Then immediately following the conclusion of that doubleheader, we head just down the road, and Shiloh takes on Stanley, a different Shiloh team without the person of Bartholomew Agabu, going up against Stanley and their dynamic duo. Then on Tuesday, a rivalry out in Fargo as the Eagles of Davies take on the Spartans of North. That is our look ahead brought to us by JSI. Take a quick time out here on BEK Prime. When we get back, we'll give you a look at some of the numbers through half number 1 and take a glance at that scorecard. Spoiler alert for UMary, it is really, really balanced. UMary with one of their largest leads of the day. It is 8th as they are on top of the Peacocks of Upper Iowa. UMary trying to get out in front of Crookston and Bemidji in the NSIC standings. They did it a bunch of different ways in that first half, Noah. The scoring inside game on a lot of cuts and a couple thunderous throwdowns for the Peacocks.
Yeah, they didn't get really a lot going on outside until later on. But UMary's got it done with a lot of different guys and all over the place, and that was the kind of what you highlighted in the pregame show as a big key for UMary tonight is can they get it done with balance, and they've done exactly that. All over the floor it's been balanced, and all over the roster who's been scoring it's been balanced as well, and it's a really nice start, putting up 40 points in the first half, an 8-point lead, which is just a couple points shy of their largest lead of the game. UMary is scoring the ball well offensively and has limited Upper Iowa pretty well on the defensive side of the floor as well.
Mary has been as balanced as they've been all year. 8 different scorers on the card for UMary. Leading the way, it's Wyatt Carr with 6 and Jalen White with 6, along with Trevor Zocker also matching that total. Keith Hunter is right behind him at 5. Michael Gorder has 4, quadrupling his season average to this point. Tom Kubank has 2, and Connor Hellebus has a 3 that you've seen in these highlights already. There is one of the more impressive shots today on that sweet step back, one-legged take, and here again Okonkwo with the big-time throwdown. That was the second one he had, wrapped up by a lay-in by Keith Hunter. Meanwhile, for the Peacocks of Upper Iowa, Joe Smolt, the freshman, has been their leading scorer. He has 9 on an efficient 3 of 5. Jerice Williams also pretty efficient, though sporadic, 2 of 3 en route to 6 points. Amin with 4, Rowan with 2, Blau with 4. He was quiet down the stretch there in that first half. He was very active early on. And Carson Parker had 2 points as well. And there you get a glimpse at the full stat picture. And I think the 2 things that really tell the story of this game is the field goal percentage of the Marauders, over 50%, despite the, in theory, height and interior advantage of Upper Iowa and the rebound advantage of +7, again, despite the fact that Upper Iowa should probably have the edge on the inside.
I would throw three things. I think the other thing is the free throw percentage. Upper Iowa's getting there quite a bit, but they have not been able to connect on those and complete three-point plays or complete even a couple free throws down the stretch. So I agree, though, 50% from the field for you, Mary. They've out-rebounded Upper Iowa by 7, a large part why they're up by 8, but Upper Iowa needs to, they got to the free throw line a lot. They've done a nice job at that, but they just haven't been able to make it.
So we get ready for half number 2. The Marauders out in front in a big way, looking to hold on. Upper Iowa trying to mount a comeback here at Bortke Court for our second game of our double header. Happy to have you here on BEK Prime. Corey Brooks, Noah Reed, Scott Lurch, and Brenda Wilecko, our crew here at the McDowell Activity Center. Back at the BEK Studios at the University of Mary, it is Jared Calvert and Cole Dennis. For you, Mary, trailing Crookston by a couple of games, a chance to mount a comeback with Minnesota Crookston having lost 6 straight. For Upper Iowa, in the exact same position as Mary, except flip it to the NSIC South, they're trying to come back on Wayne State. Upper Iowa trying to make it 2 wins in a row. You, Mary, trying to string together that conference success that they found on the road, parlay it into something here at home. It is time for the second verse here from the MAC. Carson Parker will be the inbounder for UIU. And we get to it. Parker utilizing the Okonkwo screen. Look out.
That is a great way to start the half if you're Upper Iowa. They didn't get a lot going offensively in that first half, but first play out from the break, an easy pick and roll that ends in a dunk, and nice conversion.
Drew that one up at the half, had the money play ready to go. And like you said, the pick and roll executed to perfection there. Krecklow working down in the corner for you, Mary. Now back up, Jalen White. White gets the screen, a little bit of their own for the Marauders.
As good as the execution was on one end, just as good on the other, and that's one thing to keep an eye on. Krecklow picked up 2 fouls in the first 2 or 3 minutes, so he sat almost that entire first half. There's 2 trains of thought on that. Either you're cold, you're stiff, you haven't been able to move around, or secondly, you're fresh. Your legs are still good to go. Everyone else has played a half. You haven't really played a whole lot, and on that play, it looked like he was fresh off the bench.
Each team using the PNR. They come with it again. Okonkwo towards the basket. This time Mary was much better, able to stick with it. 6'9", wins the rebound. Look out.
That's just tough. He doesn't even really have to jump. I mean, he just sticks his hand up there. A huge wingspan, 6'9" the way it is, and he can power through contact. Had that body kind of draping all over his back and still able to convert. My goodness.
Easy to figure out why he's third in the conference in field goal percentage. The dunk, about as high a percentage look as you can get. Dennis Austin, coast to coast. Just like that, the lead is cut in half. Another good response by UIU. We've seen a few tonight. Mary's been out in front by 10. Every time UIU's been there to answer. Okonkwo banged hard, no rebound for him, but we will stay on this end. Soccer, the inbounder. Jalen White, the kick to the outside. No room to operate there. Good defense by UIU. White brings it over, palms it, sends it the other way. Mary has led for nearly 3/4 of this game. Upper Iowa trying to get it back. Hunter, the feed down low, remains here. Hunter trying to fight through that trap. The whistle comes in to jump. Possession arrow will once again afford Mary a chance. Nice trap though, set up right here on the near sideline by UIU. White, oh my! Shake him out the shoes, Jalen White.
That is a pretty move right there. Had the ball screen that he rejected, went with the in-out move, and nobody was there to step into the lane.
Nice feed, Okonkwo. Too strong, that is a tough rebound for Matt Kreklow, but the whistle ensures that it does go UMary way. That is Okonkwo's foul, just his first. And that'll bring some wholesale subs for Upper Iowa. And me back in along with Jerice Williams and Cam Rowan. Three ball from the wing, in and out. Quickly down the other way, Parker slows things up. Number 3, 4-3, sneaks out. That left rim has been unkind now to both teams. Carson Parker just a couple rebounds away from continuing to advance on the UIU all-time list. Needed 7 in this game to tie Zanata. Has 5. Turnaround. Matthew Kreklow has his first make here in half number 2. Talked about the importance of the redshirt freshman. He's been efficient today for UMary. That is rebound number 6 for Carson Parker. Inches closer to the all-time Peacock lead since the move to the NSIC in NCAA Division II. Parker will leave his mark as one of the best players to wear the Peacock uniform. Carson has it right now. Jab step to the inside. He's also one of their best scorers. Go figure. Needs 56 points over the weekend to move up on the scorers list, does Carson Parker. Has 4 tonight, so barring a monstrous game tomorrow in the Magic City. That'll have to wait. Again, it's Matt Kreklow.
Yep, gotta love going to him in the way that they have here to start this second half. Right out of the gate, didn't play much because of that foul trouble in the first, and they have gone to him time after time, and he scored 6 points alone here in this second half to start, and continue to go to him because that's what's working.
It's all working for UMary right now. They are back up to the halftime margin. It's 8. I want to remind you tonight's game on the BEK Broadcasting Network brought to us by the North Dakota Firefighters Association, as well as the BEK Communications Cooperative, Farmers Union Insurance, and Dakota Community Bank and Trust. A few different occasions to mark the night for UMary. Their slam dunk don't drive drunk weekend here in Bismarck. Again, that'll be today as well as tomorrow versus the Warriors. Good floor reversal, 3 ball, turns into a 2 down the line, lay in there, count it, and 1 more for Mitchell.
Upper Iowa's did a nice job, whether it be out of the halftime break or out of a timeout, drawing up a play, a set play, and execution. That's a nice 2 on the baseline and a chance to make it 3.
It means free throw good. The slam dunk, don't drive drunk, will happen across the NSIC. Started because the Southwest Minnesota State coach lost a child to a drunk driver, so every team in the conference has a weekend. They ask people to pledge to not drive drunk, and this is the weekend for UMary. Again, today as well as tomorrow versus the Warriors. Drive inside, and a foul comes. Keith Hunter drawing the contact against UIU. It's also alumni weekend here for the Marauders. On the men's side, they honor the team that played from 76 to 78, went 48-10, 26-0 at home, and won the NDCAC title. Ripped away by UIU. We talked about that home court advantage for the Marauders. It goes back a long way, all the way back to 1976, back when the Marauders were playing in a North Dakota conference. There is the ability of Carson Parker to get going quickly.
Yeah, every time he shoots it, you consider it a good look. Most players that wouldn't have been contested, hand in the face, a couple feet behind the line, wasn't really any whole lot of ball movement, but whenever he gets even a little bit of space, he can do that.
Hellebuss will draw the foul on Carson Parker.
About a minute ago, this was an 8-point UMary lead. That's now 6 in a row from Upper Iowa, and just like that, they've trimmed it down to 2.
Every time UMary's gotten it to 8, 9, one time 10, Upper Iowa has bounced right back. Nobody has been able to run away with this game. Wyatt Carr operating down underneath. Jalen White is fouled. Fortunate for Mary with just 4 seconds left on that shot clock. They'll get it reset back to 20, and they will pick up another foul on UIU. That is the 4th.
Yeah, we talked about it right around this area the first half when UMary had 4 personal fouls against them. You still got 12:51 to go here in the game. That's something UMary needs to capitalize on. 4 Upper Iowa fouls. You just need a couple more to get into the bonus now, and you'd be shooting free throws every foul, and that's big when you got about 12:51 left in the game.
It was 12:36 in the first half when Mary notched that first foul, so you're right, Noah, basically dead on. Resulted in Upper Iowa getting 15 free throw attempts in that opening stanza. Again, they converted 8. Carr sees it ripped away. Down the other way, quickly in rhythm, and an out. And another foul against UIU. Cam Rowan, the guilty party. That is the 5th against Upper Iowa. A little bit of confusion on who the inbounder would be for UMary. It'll turn out to be Connor Hellebuss as they get back at it. Plenty of alumni in attendance today for the Marauders. UMary has put on a show for them. Matt Kreklow is having a strong second half.
Yeah, we talked about Upper Iowa's ability to answer when UMary gets that lead up to 8 or so, but UMary's kind of done the same thing. When the Peacocks have gotten it down to 4 a couple times, got it down to 2 just this last time, UMary has an answer back.
Women and men alumni in attendance here at the MAC. Women's team won huge. Men's team trying to pick up a W as well. Foul underneath against Carr. That is his 3rd, as well as the 3rd against Mary. 3 against Carr does not bring anybody off the UMary bench. However, for UIU, Okonkwo checks back in, and now Evan Anderson will come in for UMary, joined by Trevor Zocker. Carr will stay in. The backcourt duo of White and Hunter check out. The point guard and the shooting guard staying in rotation together. Head fake, baseline J, foul comes, Joe Smolt to the line. Joe Smolt and Cam Rowan, as well as Carson Parker, the efficient free throw shooters on the day for Upper Iowa. Smolt's first, sure as it gets. He has 2 makes on the day. Tom Kubank checks back in for UMary. That will spell Wyatt Carr with, again, those 3 fouls. 4-4 has been tough to find from the charity stripe for UIU, but there it is. Anderson, nice move to the basket, and a foul comes before the Okonkwo block. They tag Jarice Williams on the inside, his second, 6th against UIU, and so Evan Anderson will go to the line. Anderson's first, good, and it'll be free throws going forward for UMary. 1-and-1 time, and so much of this game may very well hinge on is UMary able to get better results at the stripe than their southern rival. 2 of 2. Way too strong. Look out in the stands. That was a bullet. Luckily, it just hit a chair. Brief check to make sure the front row fans are all right. Everybody's good. Another turnover for UIU, though Mary actually leads in that category 10-8, leads in the bad way. Zocker, some bully ball, trying to get that floater over Okonkwo. I think he may have just gotten a tip.
I think he did.
3-ball, wing. Good follow-up, and a foul comes.
Yeah, nice job crashing the board, and that's sometimes tough in transition because if you can get a leak out and a good look, there's not a whole lot of bodies underneath there, but Parker came flying in there, and he has a chance to go to the free throw line, make it a 1-possession basketball game again.
No one else you'd rather have at the charity stripe if you're UIU. As that one goes, Michael Gorder, the often defensive spark plug, checks back in for the Marauders, the senior out of Eagan, Minnesota.
Had a couple nice offensive possessions when he first checked in, had back-to-back trips where he scored a bucket just because of simply moving without the basketball, and he was able to cut to the basket and get 2 layups out of it.
Dennis Austin coming in as well for Upper Iowa. Leads back down to 2. A good finish brewing here at the MAC for the second game of our doubleheader. Gorder with a lot of space out there, trying to navigate around Okonkwo. That has been a tall task defensively. Foul comes on the inside, and free throws will come for Trevor Zocker.
10:52 to go in the game. UMary in the bonus. That's huge. Watch for that the rest of the game. Every foul, the rest of this 10:52, the Marauders shoot at least the 1-and-1, if not the double bonus if they can get there. But you got to convert them.
Zocker's first is offline, but a whistle will come against Evan Anderson. And just like that, the penalty looms for UMary as well. That is their 6th. And this second half is going to be decided at the free throw line.
Absolutely.
Plenty of space from up top. All too easy for Joe Smolt, the leading scorer for the Peacocks.
That's an Upper Iowa lead for the first time since early in the first half.
They tag Dennis Austin. Just like that, Marauders have a chance to get that lead right back. send Tom Kubank to the line. As that first free throw is good. Second home as well. UMary relinquishes the lead, but it is not for long. Again, the Marauders have really dominated this game on the scoreboard. They've led for 80% of it, but it won't take much for the Peacocks to get in it. Watch out for the pick and roll again. They cover it well. Running out of time. Williams for three. Offline, Okonkwo. One more.
That is just a man finish right there. My goodness. So strong grabbing that offensive rebound. Take another look at it right here. Bodies all over him. Got hit a couple times, and there was no altering him.
Guy out of Owerri, Nigeria, having an outstanding game. Only played about 7 minutes a game last year for UIU as he kind of got acquainted coming from the JUCO level to NCAA basketball. Now, I think he's got it figured out. Gorder hands it off. Three for Zucker. Mary back in front by one. Offensive foul against Rowan. As we go under 10, the pause on the floor and a storm brewing in Bismarck. UMary on top, but it's by the narrowest of margins here against Upper Iowa. Happy to have you in a game brought to us by the BEK Communications Cooperative as well as the North Dakota Firefighters Association, Dakota Community Bank and Trust, and Farmers Union Insurance. Remember, you can get a copy of every single game we do here at the BEK Broadcast Network on DVD. Visit our website at www.bechtel.com/BBN. DVD-worthy plays across the board for UMary and some for Upper Iowa as well, specifically if you like dunks. Tough shot for Zucker. But a foul whistled against the Marauders. So we will head all the way down to the other end of the floor off the loose ball foul. And we will see Dennis Austin head to the line for Upper Iowa. Dennis Austin 0 of 2 from the line. The only Peacock to have not made a free throw was attempted one. That's gone. Upper Iowa is starting to turn things around from the charity stripe here in this half. They were almost have to, considering how the first half went. Though even at the end there, they started to get it turned around. I'd imagine Brooks McCowan's message to his team in the locker room was something along the lines of make your free throws.
Yeah, gotta be when you're 8 for 15 at the half. They struggled in that first half, done much better here in the second, and that's kind of led to a tie ball game right now.
Wide open, Keith Hunter Bang.
And it's no longer tied.
Mary doesn't give up the lead again. Brooks McCowan frustrated by the defense on the wide open find. The fifth-year head man for Upper Iowa, 5 wins away from tying Doc Dorman, a legendary name at UIU. The gym's named after him. Meanwhile, Peacocks get their own floor reversal, and it goes for Blau.
Not a guy you want to leave open. Had a couple in that first half. Doesn't need a whole lot of space, and he had plenty of room to work with on that one. Tied it back up.
Zucker to answer. Back iron, followed up by Dennis Austin. Austin, a nice move. Runs in hard.
It's nice defense by Krecklow underneath. Had that wall of verticality going straight up and down, but an even better move offensively to get it to go.
So Keith Hunter gets to the line. And that is 10 fouls against UIU, and so we enter the double bonus for UMary. And it'll bring Keith Hunter to the charity stripe. Junior bangs home his first as Wyatt Carr checks back in. A 76% shooter from the stripe. He's hitting 100 today. (62-62). Mary led by double digits for an incredibly brief amount of time. Since then, it's been real even. Sweet reverse comes to Austin. That one again going to work its way to the benches. Trying to find Carson Parker isolated in the corner. A brief check over at the scorer's table. Supposed to make sure that all the fouls are in the right place, as well as determine possession here on that near side. And everything's correct. Under 8 to go, 62 all. 10 fouls against the Peacocks, 8 against the Marauders. And basically everybody's got 2 fouls. That one sneaks out. Second chance. Upper Iowa can't believe it, but UMary's going to walk the length of the floor. Monachiso Okonkwo, the guilty party. That is his third. Also, the notable exception to the everybody has 2 fouls. Wyatt Carr on the floor for UMary. He's got 4. First free throw good. Matt Krecklow hits it. And Mary continues to get it done from the charity stripe. Matt Krecklow, after a relatively quiet first half, has been arguably the MVP for UMary here in the second verse.
A real quiet first half. Went to the bench and didn't play the final 17 minutes of that first half, and here he is. All 10 of his points have come after the halftime break. He's in double figures and has had a really nice second half, and he got going right away. He had the first bucket out of the halftime break.
Wyatt Carr tried to hit the NBA three. It didn't fall for him. Now in transition, UIU, Parker. Good find. Blau. Second chance earned for Austin. Upper Iowa being patient here as each possession gains some significance. Dish down low. Amy got it. The senior forward goes to the line for a chance for one more and a UIU lead.
Nice strong move, got the defender up in the air, was able to go after the pump fake right into the chest of Zocker. Chance to take the lead for the Peacocks.
And it will go. Upper Iowa back on top for the first time in the last few minutes. That lead has exchanged hands relatively frequently after Mary dominated it for 80% of this game. Zocker from the left elbow loses the basketball. Parker in rhythm, got it. I think the Peacocks wanted a chance for one more. Either way, Carson Parker delivers. Still just a one-possession game, though. Zocker takes baseline, sizes up underneath, foul comes, but we head down the other way. An offensive foul against UMary. Parker hands it off, Austin. Near side, Smolt. He was huge in the first half, quiet so far here in the second. UIU gets reset off the deflection. Yummy screen, Austin! Back-to-back and ones, the Peacocks are in flight.
And I think the bigger thing there, that's 4 on Kreklo. So you're at the point now, what do? Less than 6 minutes to go. Do you leave him in? Do you take him out maybe for 2 minutes and then bring him back for the final 4? It's kind of a tough decision always right here, and it looks like they're going with the second of those two options. Kreklo going to the bench with 4 fouls.
Gorder comes back in. Matt Kreklo has been the spark plug, but right now it's Upper Iowa in control and looking for more. Dennis Austin III. Offline. To score lead for UIU. Keith Hunter wants the long 3. That's a tough shot with so much time left on that shot clock.
Yeah, one of those threes, you wish you could have worked the ball around a little bit more, like you said. A lot of time on the shot clock and contested look nonetheless.
Good defense by Zocker. 3-on-3 down the floor. Jalen White in rhythm. Charge against Mary.
It's a good call by the official.
Yep. Right outside that restricted area. Picture perfect defense. Anticipating where Jalen White was going to try and go. We go to the final 5. Carson Parker has had a good second half. After just 2 points and a couple boards, it's up to 9 and 7. On double-double watch is the Upper Iowa superstar. Amy. Back to Parker. Number 3, 4-3, back iron. Big rebound by Gorder.
Not the best of offensive possessions. A trip ago for UMary. See if they can take some time off the clock here. Get a good look.
The floater for Gorder collected, and it's not that Mary is necessarily trying to bleed the clock. Obviously they trail, but you take the time and look for the efficient shot. Mary's starting to feel the pressure a little bit, and that can get to any young team. 3-ball, corner, pocket, cash for Blau. And that forces a timeout by the Marauders. Their largest deficit of the day. Peacocks by 8. The Upper Iowa University Peacocks playing their best basketball of the game and doing so at the right time. With 4:15 remaining in the ball game, UMary has to kind of do what Upper Iowa has done all day. Respond to the growing deficit with a big-time counter run. By the by, the Warriors are up by 7 in the Magic City, so a chance that both teams on the men's side in the state of North Dakota fall tonight. Gorder takes baseline, back out, reset. Connor just gets it off. Zocker. Oh, they needed that in a big way, and Trevor Zocker delivers for the Marauders.
It's a nice answer. Upper Iowa had hit a 3 a possession ago, took an 8-point lead, which is the largest they'd had. It's back down to 5. UMary needs a stop.
UIU trusting Carson Parker. Mary trusting Jalen White. Those two man on man. Good quick hand, Zocker. Kept alive, wide open to me! A big-time dunk. UIU hoping it's the exclamation point. Look out. No whistle comes. And Upper Iowa a chance to really expand this lead. A surprising no call. Dennis Austin going up against Connor Hellebus. The kick from the wing. The haymaker is avoided.
Much needed stop for you, Mary, and they got it.
Under 3 to go. Mary trying to avoid falling behind by double digits. Gorder, nice find. Carr, foul. That is the 3rd foul on Parker. Matt Kreklo gets ready to check in, as does Munachiso Okonkwo. Before they do, we take the final media timeout. 2:41 to go. Mary trying to hold on. (74-67). Upper Iowa up by 7. As out of the timeout, it'll be the freshman in a big spot. Wyatt Carr to the line. Mary trying to keep the conference momentum alive and get one in front of the home crowd. First good. That first makes it a 2-score game no matter what. That helps as well. Nice job by the freshman. He heads out. Kreklo comes back in. If you're the Peacocks, you have to take it at 44 right here, don't you?
Absolutely. You have to.
4 fouls. Matthew Kreklo has to be very careful.
He's had a solid second half after only playing a couple minutes in that first half due to foul trouble. If you can get him out of here, the quicker the better.
Him and Carson Parker have been the differences in this second half for their respective teams. Parker, the long 3.
Wow.
The difference is there. Carson Parker delivers again. 14-9. Already having moved up that all-time rebounding list. Continues to etch his name in the UIU record book. The all-time rebounding leader. No whistle, good trap. Down to the baseline. Zocker hesitated. Didn't matter. Trevor Zocker with the 3 for Mary. But a foul underneath the basket will take away the 3.
I don't know if they're taking it away. I think they said the 3 is
good.
but it's
a chance
on
to walk down
Kreklo.
to the other end of the floor.
It's on Kreklo too.
And, yep. So that will do it for the redshirt freshman, Matthew Kreklo, who does indeed finish in double digits with 10 points. Also had 5 rebounds. Wyatt Carr will check in and replace him. Wyatt Carr not that much better off in terms of foul position. He too has 4. Meanwhile, if you're Mary, it's at least the right guy at the free throw line. When Chiso Okonkwo has had a difficult day. 2 of 6, his first, sure as it gets. He was just saving it for the end.
Yeah, that's right.
The second, 2 of 2. First perfect trip of the day. And it comes at the most important time for the upperclassmen big for UIU. The orange and blue in trouble, down 7, looking for something special here with a minute 45. Inside, Gorder! Mary's making the baskets. They need the defensive stops though.
How about the day he's had offensively? Now 6 points for Gorder, a guy who averages less than 2 per game. Nice job from him offensively. You know what you get from him defensively. Very solid in the post. Offense, he's been getting it done today as well.
It is a season high for Michael Gorder. His previous was 4 versus Bemidji. He's getting more and more playing time as this season progresses. Right now, they need his key skill, defense. Some space. Planks home, must make for Mary.
Yeah, you really think you got to get a bucket here, draw it within a possession in the final 60 seconds.
Jalen White rises up. Friendly roll at home. It is indeed a 1-score game. Mary does not need to foul, but they do need to stop. Upper Iowa is going to bring this thing down to right about 30, a little bit under it. Timeout comes. They're going to draw things up. The fifth-year head coach looking to go to the back of the playbook here to try and find the game winner for the Peacocks. It's only fitting in a game that has seen run, counter-run all over again. It's a one-possession game here in the final 43 seconds. Joe Smolt to be the inbounder for UIU. They give it right back to Carson Parker. They trust their senior. Austin. Again, patient. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. The three ball from the wing for Smolt. Offline. Zocker's got it. UMary has a chance. The shot clock is off.
I think about taking one of your 2 timeouts left here if you're Mary. You didn't get anything in transition. Set something up.
The kick from the wing. It goes! Tunner Hellebust!
Then again, what do I know?
79-79. Carson Parker for the win. We are going to overtime in Bismarck. 79-79. Mary survives, and we play the extra period. It was just about a week ago, the University of Mary went to overtime versus Bemidji. They got that win. Now, can they do it again? Keith Hunter was humongous in that game. He scored about 30. He has been relatively quiet tonight, at least by that standard. He's got 10. Do they turn to number 2 in a big spot? Again, Matt Kreklow is out for the game. The Mary 5 to open up OT. The same as it was to end that second half. The hero right now is Connor Hellebust. Zocker and Amy in the center for the extra 5 minutes.
You gotta like where you're at if you're UMary. Scored the final 5 points of regulation. All came in the last 55 seconds as well. They're riding a momentum high, including that 3 that was made with about 10 to go.
And an air ball for Blau. He's had such a good game, but that one gets away from him. And the first punch goes wide for Upper Iowa. Zocker over to Jalen White, and White is fouled. A difficult foul there for Upper Iowa. Dennis Austin had White trapped, but Jalen manages to escape and goes to the line for 2 shots. These are the first free throws of the day for Jalen White. A good free throw shooter for Mary. They need him right now. There's one. Cam Rowan checks back in for Upper Iowa along with Jerice Williams. Second, in and out. Big time rebound by the all-time rebounder for UIU, Carson Parker. Good feed. Ami, one more. Offensive foul, a charge whistled against the senior, Mitch Amy. Once again, it's Connor Hellebust making the difference. He's the one who draws the charge. He's the one who had the game-tying shot to force OT. A 2 keeps it at 1 score. A 3 broadens Mary's horizons to a 2-possession lead. Zocker, phantom zone pass, sends it to nowhere. Hands it right back. Parker wants to do a little bit of off-ball work here, so he asks Rowan to take over. Ami. Drive inside, back over to the far wing. Parker with 5 to go on the shot clock. Parker has no space, still takes the shot.
Oh my.
How about one of the all-time scorers for Upper Iowa, staying cool, calm, and collected. Peacocks by 1.
Yeah, I don't know you can defend that much better. Was with him all the way, not face guarding him, but shadowing him the entire time. Pump faked a couple times, stayed with him, still had a hand in his face, and with 1 on the shot clock, able to hit that tough jumper.
Mary utilizing the full length of the shot clock, trying to set something up. 5 to go, inside, no whistle, Jalen White, but ball stays.
3 on the shot clock for you, Mary. Got to draw something up quick.
They're going to take the full time to draw it up. Timeout, Joe Kittel. Mary trying to come back, down just 1. Peacocks lead, narrowest of margins. 3:04 remaining. Marauders trying to make it back-to-back OT wins. Peacocks just going for back-to-back wins. The freshman, well short. Hellebuss again. Comes soccer. Good fortune meets being in the right place for Mary.
Pull this out. You can use the shot clock again in a full 30.
Carr.
Got a couple really good looks at it. Carr had that short baseline jumper, top of the key 3, just couldn't get either to go.
Yep. Gives Upper Iowa a chance to expand on that lead. Rowan asks for the screen. Rolls to the right of it, blocking foul, counted and 1!
Oh my.
The UMary players beside themselves. And a humongous moment in this game as an and 1 is called for Cam Rowan. To make it a 2-score game, it is short. UMary once again holding on by a thread. Hellebuss has done it all. Now he picks up an offensive foul. Trevor Zocker trying to calm his teammates down. They have come up with every pivotal defensive stop here in these final few minutes. There's another one here with 2 to go.
There's still over 2 minutes to go. This isn't necessarily a must stop if you're UMary, but man, you'd really like to get this stop. Keep it at a 1-possession game.
Parker.
Oh.
Tough Jays have been there all day, specifically in this second half for Carson Parker.
He's been the difference maker. You said it towards the end of regulation. He has been nothing but fantastic since the halftime break.
Floater goes. Mary manages to get a tough one of their own. Jalen White doing all he can. So we come back to this end, same spot. 1-score game. Parker. Jerice Williams. Left short, good defense by Mary. Final minute, only 1 or 2 possessions left. Got to maximize them. White to the inside, no foul. I suppose that's a mirror image of what you saw on the other end.
Yep.
Both exceptionally tight, a ton of contact. And now it is must-stop time for Mary. Before we get there, timeout. Brooks McCowan. Really fun finish. We're in overtime. What would you expect? One of the unfortunate threads of the season for UMary. Some early leads squandered. That matchup against the Golden Bears of CSP loomed large at the time. Mary controlled that game. CSP got the win. Has since rattled off 7 losses in a row. Mary controlled the early going in this one. Upper Iowa came back, but it was a late Mary scrum to force OT. Now they need one more stop. to give themselves a chance. Parker, the find. Williams, the three.
Wow, that is a big time bucket.
30-second timeout, Upper Iowa, 88-82. Mary needs something special now. It is Jerice Williams, the redshirt freshman out of Mason City, Iowa, in his very first trip to Bismarck, who may have the game sealer. Mary still has time though. Clock doesn't start till they bring it across half court. White's got to get going. Jalen to the inside. Wyatt Carr was inside the arc. Inside feed, Gorder. Two is nice, but it's still a two-score game. That's a charge. Carson Parker cannot believe it. But UMary gets away with the NBA 2K trick of getting the charge at half court. Now UMary calls timeout. They still trail by 2 scores, but that escape hatch opens a little bit. The quick turnover off the charge opens up a few possibilities for Mary. A quick 2 and a foul, a quick 2 and you try and force another turnover. 2 or 3, doesn't really matter, Noah, as long as it's a make here for UMary.
Not at all. In fact, I'd go with the quick 2 because you're down to a 4-point game. You get that quick 2, you bring it down to a 2-point game if you can get something close to the basket, and then you foul right away. And we've noted many times the struggle of Upper Iowa at the free throw line tonight. They would have to go down and hit both free throws and able to make it a 2-possession game again. Even if they hit 1, you're still looking at a 3-point game at that point. If I'm UMary, I'm actually looking more for a quick 2 than I am a 3.
You know they're going to try and get the ball to Carson Parker if indeed it reaches free throw time one last time for UIU.
Yep.
No matter what it is for Mary, it's got to be fast.
Like this.
Hellebus to the inside. Zucker. One more time. Just short. Clangs off the backboard and the intentional foul.
Really like that play call, though, especially going down to Zucker. He's a guard, but he's big. Had a little bit of a height advantage and just couldn't muscle it up enough. Was a little bit short. It was great defense down in the post more than anything.
It was. Coach could tell frustrated. But here with 9 seconds to go. Chance to ice it at the charity stripe. First, good for Cam Rowan. He is 3 of 4 on the day. Second is good as well. 90-84. And the Peacocks of Upper Iowa don't play any defense at all. Still, though, the 2 makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think they need to. Once he got past the 3-point line, I'd go give him the 2. I mean, makes it still a 2-possession game. You cut the lead from 6 to 4, but nonetheless, 2-possession game. Upper Iowa will take that 10 times out of 10.
The equivalent of fouling when you're up 3. Either way, with 4.4 to go, UMary on top. A really good finish to this one. It's been a ton of fun here in overtime. And a reminder, this is just the beginning of our collegiate coverage this weekend. Tomorrow we head up to the Magic City. Upper Iowa is going to come with us. They will take on the Beavers of Minot State. A really similar women's setup to what we saw today. Again, Minot State right next to UMary in the standings. And a tall task for the Peacocks of Upper Iowa and the number 2 Northern team, Minot State. However, seems very likely now it'll be Upper Iowa coming in on a win streak. Meanwhile, the Marauders will continue to struggle at home. The good news for them is still a lot of time to turn it around. Plenty of games left. And I suppose a little voice in the back of your head says, hey, if we're unable to turn around, it means we'll be on the road for the conference tournament. UMary has to pretty much rip this thing away. Upper Iowa gets exactly what they wanted. Carson Parker will head down to the other end of the floor. Carson Parker is the reason Upper Iowa is going to win this game. He has absolutely went back and found something here in half number 2.
Yeah, he had a couple open looks in the first half, just didn't hit him. Second half, he converted on just about everything he shot, and I mean, they were tough looks, too. Hands in his face, threes, deep twos, step backs off the dribble. He did a little bit of everything in that second half, and Upper Iowa was down, 8 at the break, 40-32, and, man, he was special in the second half.
Soccer fouls out. His day is done. He had 11 rebounds. It was a big part of the effort. Just unable to overcome it. Carson Parker hits this. He will hit to 20. A game high. Zucker had 17, so he was done with a double-double. 2 of 2. One of the top free throw shooters in the conference, one of the top scorers in the conference. Comes up big in the second half and in overtime. The comeback win is completed for Upper Iowa, and they get it in OT, 92-86 here at the MAC. (92-86), the Peacocks of Upper Iowa victorious in overtime. They say, do what you know. So Upper Iowa went with their most trusted option, Carson Parker, and he delivered in half number 2. It is without question he earns our Choice Financial Player of the Game honors. Munachiso Okonkwo was outstanding in the first half and down the stretch, but number 3 delivered for Upper Iowa in a way that single-handedly delivered him this game. Noah, he was outstanding.
He was. He had some good looks in the first half that just didn't go. In the second half, he hit everything he put up there. Hit some tough contested threes late in regulation, and then had a couple deep twos there in overtime, one of which made it a 2-possession game, and it stayed 2 possessions the rest of the time. Big-time performance for Parker tonight. He was huge for giving Upper Iowa the win on the road in overtime.
And so the Peacocks get the win, and they will go to the Magic City having won 2 in a row, and the Beavers will come off of a loss. Winona State wins it today, so they'll come here to Mary tomorrow off of the win as well. That is going to do it for us here at the McDowell Activity Center. So for Scott Lurch, Brenda Willetsko, my broadcast partner, in Noah Reed, as well as our group just up the sidewalk, Jared Calvert and Cole Dennis, I'm Corey Brooks. Have a great night. We will see you a full day of basketball tomorrow from Minot. See you then.